This is Tonight. I'm Bruce Whitfield and welcome to the Big Boat Show at the Cape Town Convention Centre. This floor is filled with millions of rands worth of speedboats, of dinghies and a couple of little Hobie cats and smaller craft. At the waterfront, just over the way there are the proper yachts, the boats that go for between 20 and 40 million rand each. Just how much of an economic barometer is the boating industry, one wonders. Johan Jacobs is the branch manager of Boating International in Cape Town. He's got a very good handle on what goes on in this industry. This is all about power boats, Stefan. This is everything. I mean, from jet skis to power boats to dinghies and the lot here at the convention centre.
That's correct. We've got most of our toys here is mostly power toys, power jet skis, from the muscle craft, from the 260 horsepower, and basically to the rock bottom range of around about 90 horsepower. But everybody can have fun, from the jet skis to the boats, mastercrafts, Malibu boats, access boats, which is your tower boats in the world at the moment, which is your most familiar brands. And then we also got our local brands like the Sunsports and the Angler range as well.
I like the way that you describe them as toys, because there is no real reason to own one of these things other than if you want to go fishing, water skiing, wakeboarding, or just having a poodle along a river or a dam. I mean, these are big boys and women's toys.
Yeah, and I think the major thing is all regarding family fun, you know, because we sell fun. Everything regarding boats is fun for the family and building memories. As long as you can build memories, that is why you buy all of these fancy toys, because it brings the families together. You have your general fun with friends, and they're all together on one little environment. There's no time to get outside. You stick together. You talk about things that you never talk about. And you've just got general fun all together with it.
Now, of course, it's all set-up day, and of course we'll hear the guys banging and knocking, and probably people walk straight over our feet, which is also fine because this is going to be a working boat show. How many craft do you expect to sell? Because I think you sell, on average, every year between, say, 200, maybe 300 in a good year of boats. So how worthwhile is it coming to a boat show like this?
Yeah, it's always difficult because on the boats, on the show itself, the guys usually come around, have a look, and from there on, they've done their homework before they get here.
This is a bit like online shopping for boats.
That's correct, yeah. So they come around and see what we can offer, you know, all the different ranges or the different varieties, and then also between the different brands, you know. So you need to show your brand, you need to show what you've got and the best product that's available on the market, and not starting to negotiate with anything else, but sell your best product that's available and try to negotiate, and also try to get the guy's purpose, what he wants to do with the boat, because a lot of guys come here not knowing anything about boats, and we need to advise them for the right product for the family. Is it the right boat? Do you want to put 5 people on the boat? Do you want to put 6 people on the boat? Do you want to go inland? Do you want to go offshore? Do you want something that's dual purpose? Do you want to go fishing? So it is all about what is the right boat for your purpose, and to get the right advice, it's always best to come to the professional people.
When it comes to boats, I mean, you talked about the Malibus, and I'm assuming Malibu, that sounds American to me. Those are the massive wakeboarding boats that actually produce a particular jet and a wake that will influence the way the wakeboarders operate, correct?
Yeah. Oh, that's correct. With the new Malibu range, there's a special wake adjustment setting on the boat itself that creates a real proper surfing boat. The newest growing sport in the boating industry is the wake surfing, and where the Malibu and the Access boats create the perfect surfing wake, that the guys actually have tested the guys in America with surfers coming in to surf behind the boat. No rope attached, nothing. You basically pop on the back of the boat and you go on and surfing properly.
No, I mean, it's extraordinary. The technology is obviously amazing. The South African boat building industry also is surprisingly quite robust and quite vibrant. There are multiple brands being produced in South Africa.
That's correct. With our ranges, we've got a couple of major manufacturers in South Africa. But if you look at your Sunsport range specifically, which is manufactured by Angler Boats in Durban, which are the #1 manufacturer in the country at the moment, which produce a quality boat. The only thing from there, if you want to go up to a higher, more expensive boat, you can almost double the price to get to the imported boat pricing.
But imported boats versus local boats in terms of the economics of the purchase?
The local boats give you a little bit more of a affordable range, where all your imported boats, they fluctuate quite a bit, you know, but also your quality is completely, I would say, a different class, a different market boat.
So you would, as a professional, go into a showroom and you would see local boat, imported boat.
Yeah.
You could differentiate that with the winches, the finishes, whatever the case might be.
Yeah, you can see it. You can really see it from a distance. But it's also the quality of the South African boats are not standing back at all. The quality of South African boats are really came up quite a long way in the last, I would say, 10, 15 years. And sometimes when you take a local manufactured boat, put it next to an imported boat, it looks similar. We use the same engines that we use on the Regals and the Sea Ray specific. They use the Mercruiser inboard motors, and that's what we use in our range as well.
Well, what's moving in the South African market? Because one looks at boats as a toy, as you described it. They play things that, this is about disposable income. And one looks at Reserve Bank data, one looks at what the economists are telling us, and the South African economy is dying. Yet you're here, it feels pretty vibrant, you've got a lot of hardware on the stands, you're looking fairly optimistic about selling boats. What's happening to the dynamics, the pricing segments within this industry?
I would think that the South African market is really, there's quite a bit of difference in your entry level compared to your top end boats. On the second-hand market, for example, the second-hand market is really growing quite a bit, and there's more affordable second-hand boats available compared to your newer boats. The newer entry-level boats are standing, I would almost say, still compared to what it was 5-6 years ago, where all the boats with the newer inboards and comparing with the import market is really flowing. All your boats, I would say, from 350, 400,000 rand plus, is really a bigger part of growing on the industry at the moment.
But where are the bits that are stagnant? Because there must be, in any segment, whether you're buying a house or a car, there's certain market segments that are stagnant, which tells you about what middle-income South Africa is doing. 5 years ago, a guy with a decent job and a credit line might be tempted to buy a boat. Today, sensibly, might hold back.
Yeah, and those guys that usually bought the entry-level boats, that part of the market is completely quiet. That's the guy that will rather go for the cheaper pre-owned, pre-loved boat, as we call it, you know. And then if you look at all the pre-loved boats, it's also always something that you want to see as a person that took care of his boat, maybe moved up to a newer, bigger boat, or is just going out of the boating industry completely or out of the boating game with a family.
How many will move at this show this year, do you think? Considering we're seeing economic growth of possibly 1 and a bit % in South Africa at this time, possibility of tax increases in the February budget next year. Are people holding back, or does money just want to spend money?
I think if we look at what is really going to move this show once again, as it did in the past couple of years, is more your higher end boats. The entry level boats are very quiet. That's where you'll see, if you walk around the stand, you won't really see an entry level 16 footer, 15 footer, 17 footer like we had in the past. And the guys that's coming to the shows are the guys that really got that little bit of disposable income that they can spend on a boat. Which the guy's got a house at the river, he's got a house somewhere along the water, and he can go.
You've got a house, you've got to attach a boat to it. I mean, it's like having a garage without a car in it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the logic. I should sell boats.
Yeah.
How many are likely to move at the show? 50, 60, 100?
I would think if you look at all the dealerships together, I would think if we get to 25, 30,
Okay.
I think on the show itself it will be a great achievement. But I think in general the biggest work come after the show, because there's so many buyers that's coming in, and they're going to go to each different dealership and get the best advice that they can get, and then stick to the best guy that they think is giving them the right advice.
How aggressive is competition between the dealerships? Because you all have access to the same globally sourced stuff. You all have access to the same locally produced stuff, don't you?
I think the market at the moment is really distributed it well, because if we look at the different dealerships at the moment, you've got your Mercury dealerships, you've got your Yamaha dealerships, you've got your Honda, Suzuki. Those are all the different outboard brands, and each one of those dealerships have got certain brands of hulls that they attach them to. Which make Boating International unique is that we've got our own brands. We've got the Ace Glider range for our offshore boats. We've got the Sunsport for our inland and general all-purpose boats. Then we compare against like your angler manufacturers that sell your Panache, your Legacies, and those style boats. So I think it is very much what the customer wants, and what does he want? Does he want space in a boat? Does he want, and it's against pricing is mostly part of the decisions.
I mean, when I see a Maserati or I see a Ferrari or I see a Porsche, I kind of get an idea of what's going. Motoring is far more mainstream. Yeah. Boating is very specialist. How do I tell a good quality boat from an okay boat?
I think that's always difficult. And I always look at it as how the boat age. if you go and look at older boats, 5 years, 6 years old, and you take a specific brand, you can see the cheaper manufactured boat, although it might look brand new, looks brilliant, but as soon as you're going to go look after the boat after 6 years or so, you'll see that some of the boats deteriorate very quick. After 2 years, some of the boats look 6 years old. So and that is where the quality aspects come in. So I would suggest the guys, they go and do proper homework on that first, go and see what the boat age like, and then basically decide on what product and what brand they go from after that.
What's been the worst sales year in the last 10? If we go back to 2004, was 2008, 2009 the worst sales year? Do sales track economic sentiment?
Yeah, I think with the tracking of it, we could have seen it clearly in the last couple of years, because in our shops as well, you can see that there's definitely in the past, pre-2006, I would say we could have definitely say, this is how many boats we're going to sell of this caliber, and each different style, we could have tracked the market, and we could say, listen, this is how many we got to manufacture, get them production, get them ready for the summer season, and that is completely stopped. It is very difficult to say what you're going to sell next. That part of it is gone completely.
So forecasting has become really difficult. So
yeah.
As we go into the summer season, which this is timed perfectly for, do you have even the slightest idea as to where demand is going to come from? What is demand going to be there for? Because there's a lead time on these boats that must be of several months.
Yeah, at the moment the lead time is between 4 and 6 weeks if the production is up and running. But now in summertime coming up, everybody wants their boats for Christmas.
Now,
and
yes.
for the holidays, and that's why we always suggest to the guys, rather look around beforehand. Don't wait for October to start buying. Do your homework beforehand. Rather put an order in and get the production going so that you guaranteed a boat at a certain time. Because at the moment we don't know what to manufacture. We know that there's certain ranges that flows, but the rest is standing still.
What is the ultimate boat on this show for you? Would you want a 40 million rand yacht? Do you want an ocean-going tuna fishing boat? Do you want to go wakeboarding? What is the technology? What's the innovation that's excited you most this year?
I think the biggest thing at the moment is, if I can, the Malibu wake setter and the Malibu wake surfing because it's the fastest growing sport. It is the expensive part of it, but
how much do I need to put aside?
You look at about 1.5, 1.7.
Have you got two in stock?
We've got a couple in stock.
Okay, that's all right.
But
that's where the trend is going then. People are willing to spend that amount of money to have a bit of sport in the weekend.
No, that's correct, but you also get your entry-level guy that want to start having fun. You've got the guy that wants to spend 150,000 rand, and we can help them as well, because that's where we get to the second-hand or the pre-loved boats, and we can put him into the boat that he wants, and because everybody grows. And that is part. The family grows. When the kids are small, they want the entry-level boat. Do they want wakeboarding? Do they like slalom skiing?
Do the kids throw up over the side? Because once the kids start throwing up over the side, maybe you don't have a boating dream after all.
Yeah, I think the major thing with that is with freshwater boats, we very seldom get that. That's only after the guys had a couple of drinks, that probably will pop in. But those not supposed to be on the water anymore. And the nice thing with all the SAMHSA regulations, that is much more stricter controlled. It is really brilliant that we've got that in place, and everybody gets special training. In the past, there was no training, there was no skipper's licenses required, and in the last couple of years, they're starting to get enforced, and you can't get on the water if you haven't got a license.
Absolutely, and as it should be.
And that is the positive part of it.
As Oscar Pistorius knows, only to his reputational cost. From Boating International, Johan Jacobs, thanks very much for joining us on Tonight with Bruce Whitfield. So if you've got some bucks to burn, if you've got some money to spend, if you've got some disposable income that you don't want to put into my personal bank account, the details will follow under the screen. Boating is a growing hobby in South Africa. Between 200 and 300 boats are sold by Stefan's business every single year. They've got, say, 15% market share. Up to 3,500 boats get moved in South Africa. Economic times, good or bad. It's an interesting story. Thanks very much for watching. There'll be more tonight, tomorrow. Until next time. Bye-bye.